Good morning, my dear students. So, in our yesterday's class, we covered about carbocations. So, almost carbocations are over, boys. Okay. Now, another reaction intermediates along with carbocations. Other intermediates are carbon free radicals, carbanions, carbenes, nitrines, benzene. That is also called as arine. These are also there. So, second important class of compound is carbon free radicals, and third one is carbanions. Now I am trying to close these two topics today: carbon free radicals and carbanions. Okay. Now I am starting here. Carbon free radicals. See here, boys. What are these carbon free radicals? Already we know carbon free radicals. Any species having unpaired electron is called as a free radical. If that unpaired electron present on carbon, that is called as carbon free radical. So free radicals are formed by the homolysis. So during homolysis, free radicals are formed. Homolysis means equal cleavage. So that means, so both the bonded atoms, bonded electrons regains their own contributing electrons. So that means only unpaired electrons are formed. Unpaired electrons are formed. Already we know that is homolysis, boys. So during homolysis, these free radicals are formed. Next. So these free radicals, see here, that is, if carbon having unpaired electron, that is called as a carbon free radical. Okay. So that carbon free radical, it has no positive charge, no negative charge. Therefore, it has no charge. Only unpaired electron exists. Electrically neutral. It is not positive, it is not negative. It is electrically neutral. Having one unpaired electron, it is important. Having one unpaired electron. Next, presence of unpaired electron, it is a paramagnetic in nature. So, free radicals are paramagnetic in nature because unpaired electron exists. So, these are produced by homolysis. Homolysis means homolytic cleavage. So, homolytic cleavage, when homolytic cleavage takes place, boys, L, heat, high heat, electricity, light, and presence of peroxides. So whatever it may be used, homolysis takes place. During that homolysis, these carbon free radicals are formed. So one free radical may combine with another free radical only. Positive combine with negative, negative combine with positive. But here radical combine with another free radical. One free radical combined with another free radical. Okay, so this is simply about free radicals. Now, what is its structure? Structure and hybridization. If you know hybridization, automatically structure will go on. Okay, so what about the hybridization? No doubt, carbon free radical may be primary free radical, secondary free radical, or tertiary free radical, just like carbocations, boys. Here also, CH3 free radical. So these free radicals, see here, this is carbon, boys. So CH3, this is CH3. This carbon is in sp2 hybridization. So because of sp2 hybridization, so one orbital, pure p orbital is there. In that one pure p orbital, there is an unpaired electron. So it is sp2 hybridized, boys. This carbon. So unpaired electron present in pure p orbital. Unpaired electron present in pure p orbital. Therefore, it is trigonal planar shape. Generally, it is a trigonal planar shape. So an unpaired electron, boys, in carbocations, this is empty. There also sp2 hybridization, this is empty. That is empty p orbital is there. But here unpaired electron is there. So this unpaired electron is this one. That is a free radical. That is a free radical. So unpaired electron. So trigonal planar. So bond angle generally 120 degrees, no doubt. So it is general. Okay. Now see here. So that is this carbon radical is in sp2 hybridization. So here also single bonded carbocation, single bonded carbon. So that is also sp2 hybridization just like this here. So this hydrogen is replaced with CH3. Now this carbon is also in sp3 hybridization, sp2 hybridization. Next, double bonded carbon radical. That is also in sp2 hybridization. That is also in sp2 hybridization. Triple bonded carbon. Triple bonded carbon unpaired electron. sp hybridization. sp hybridization. See here. sp hybridization. Triple bonded free radical is sp hybridization. Once again, it is double bonded free radical. Even though it is in cyclic condition, that is sp2 hybridization. Next, benzene, that is organic, that is benzene. So, phenyl free radical, that is also sp2 hybridization. Please keep in mind, hybridizations asked in your exams. So, see here, it is very, very, very important. So, this is voice. It is alpha carbon. It is double bond. It is alpha carbon. A free radical at alpha carbon is in resonance. Resonance. Because of resonance, so that means this free radical is in sp2 hybridization. Even though it is sp3, generally we feel it as it is sp3 carbon, but carbon free radical is sp2. So their resonance is possible. See here, I am writing resonance here. This is unpaired electron. Okay, see boys, this is pi electron, pi bond. It has two electrons, one unpaired electron moving this side and one unpaired electron moving this side. Boys, I am using this curved arrows. Half-headed arrow. Half-headed arrow means only one electron coming this side. So this is half-headed arrow, boys. Only one electron coming this side. So see here, these are half-headed arrows. That means its meaning this one. So that is, it is unpaired electron, it is unpaired electron. These two unpaired electrons are going to be bond formation. This is a free radical. Okay, half. So in future, I am using resonance structures with these half-headed arrows. Wise, half-headed arrow means only one electron moving like that. So another electron opposite, or maybe retained there. Another electron opposite, one electron this side. So that means bond pair of electrons break down into two halves because one radical creates another radical. So radical combined with another radical only. So that's why. So resonance is like that. Resonance is like this. Okay. So because of resonance, so it is sp2 hybridization, no doubt. Next. So bridgehead free radical, boys. So bridgehead free radical. Already our rule is there. What is that rule? Tell me, boys. What is that rule? Bridgehead carbon never gets sp2 hybridized, never gets positive charge. What is that? Tell me. Tell me, boys. Already we covered. Bridgehead carbon never gets positive charge, never gets sp2 hybridized. No one is reading. No one is reading. No, it's not Bent rule. Yes, Bredit's rule. Yes, Bredit's rule. It's not Bent rule. According to Bredit's rule, bridgehead carbon always feel to be saturated. Always feels to be saturated. Never gets positive charge. So never sp2 hybridized. So it should be sp3 hybridized, boys. So generally, boys, carbon free radicals generally sp2, but in this case it is sp3. Please be conscious. Very, very, very important. So yes, Bredit's rule. So very, very important. Bridgehead free radical is sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. Next, one more special case. One more special case. That is CF3. CF3. Okay. So CF3. So actually we feel it as it is generally carbon free radicals sp2, We feel it as it is sp2, but here it is sp3. It is sp3. It is also very, very, very important, boys. It is sp3. Why, sir? Because here fluorine atoms. These fluorine atoms are highly electronegative elements. Highly electronegative elements always withdraws electrons, boys. So that means it seems to be fluorine itself is going to be highly electronegative. So its neighboring atoms must be less electronegative elemented. That means never gets highest positive charge. As positive percentage increases, as positive character increases, electronegativity increases. But this carbon is less electronegative, so less S percentage is required. So that means sp3 hybridization is possible. Therefore, CF3 free radical, the carbon is in sp3 hybridization. It is not sp2 hybridization. So what is that here? So see here, more electronegative elements prefers less S percentage. So that is the rule. Okay. So it is a pyramidal in shape. CF3 is a pyramidal in shape. Pyramidal in shape. Here what we call as, it is a trigonal planar. So generally sp2 carbon is trigonal planar. It is generally all these sp2 hybridized carbons, free radicals are trigonal planar. But in this case, it is pyramidal in shape. sp3 free radical is in pyramidal shape. So these are different hybridizations and their structures towards. So our free radicals. Now we are going to take how these free radicals are formed. What are the preparation methods of free radicals? Okay. So now our topic is preparation of free radicals. Okay. How to prepare these free radicals? Boys, so generally free radicals are generated in homolysis cell. And also, if one free radical is going to be involved in the reaction, another free radical may be formed. No doubt. That means a free radical can give another free radical. See here, how is that? So, for example, I am giving A radical, boys. So this combined with B with D, there is a bond. Because it is free radical, so it is always combined with another free radical. Because of that, here, so here, like this, the bond separation takes place. Okay, so that combined with this carbon, this B, that gives a bond formed between A and B, and D free radical is coming out. And a D free radical is coming out. See here, boys, I'm using always half-headed arrows. Half-headed arrows means only one electron is coming like that. Okay, only one electron, only unpaired electron. So free radical mechanism always using half-headed curved arrows. Half-headed curved arrows. So bond, two electrons, one electron this side, one electron this side, half-headed arrow side. So that means a free radical generates another free radical. I'm using this technique, boys, for generation of free radicals. First one, a free radical can generate another free radical. Let's take that. So a free radical can generate another free radical. A free radical can generate another free radical. See some examples, boys. So that is from alkenes. That is CH2 double bond CH2. Alkene. If this alkene reacts with alkyl free radical, see here. So 5 bonded half electron here, another half electron here, and so this alkyl group is attached here. Okay, that gives CH2 single bond CH2. So here unpaired electron, that unpaired electron bonded with this unpaired electron and gives R. This carbon gets carbon free radical. This is carbon free radical, boys. It is one of the ways. Next, R C triple bond C Rn. This one combined with another alkyl radical, boys. For our convenience, R dash I am taking. Okay. So once again, this 5 bonded electron, half electron, this is bonded to this one. Okay. That gives R C double bond C R. Here R dash is coming out. This carbon gets unpaired electron. That is one more free radical. Next, R C R double bond O. This is ketone, boys. So this is combined with alkyl free radical. No doubt, this 5 bond half. So see here, this free radical moving towards carbon side. That gives R. I'm taking R double dash. R C R R double dash single bond O with unpaired electron. So oxygen gets unpaired electron, boys. Oxygen, that is oxygen free radical. Oxygen free radical. So see here, for example, double bonded ora. So it may combine with alkyl free radical. Here half and so this is moving here. Here that gives ROO unpaired electron. Once again, oxygen unpaired electron. Once again, R unpaired electron. Next, PH3, that is a phenyl rings. SNHN. This combined with alkyl free radical. See here, boys, this hydrogen as a free radical attached to this one. That gives PH3 SN with unpaired electron. RH is the product. It is alkane. Here SN, tin unpaired electron. Tin unpaired electron. This is the way to prepare. Next, some more examples. Wait. That is, if alkyl free radical combined with HX. HX means H bonded with halogen. So unpaired electron. So this hydrogen attached to this alkyl radical, that gives RH plus X free radical. Okay. So, and also possible if another way, if this halogen combined with alkyl group, that gives RX plus H radical. RX plus H radical. Boys, among these two reactions, only this is possible, this is not possible. Because of energy conditions. So no doubt. So RH is combined, but not RX. High electron element. So that means finally high electron element gets free unpaired electron. So hydrogen is very, very reactive, boys. That is why it combines with alkyl radical. So therefore RH is the product. Please be conscious. RH is the product. Next, one more. If alkyl free radical combine with RCH double bond CH2. RCH double bond CH2. So here unpaired electron, it is unpaired electron, boys. There are two possibilities. If this unpaired alkyl free radical may combine with, may attack to that carbon or may attack to this carbon. Both are possible. I am giving two examples, boys. See here. First one here, combination. R, CH, single bond, CH2. So R, this carbon gets unpaired electron, boys. Okay. Next, this one. or CH2. So if this alkyl free radical attached to this carbon, this is R, this carbon gets unpaired electron. So both these are acceptable, but one is final and the other one is not possible. See here, boys, this carbon free radical is a secondary carbon free radical. This is primary carbon free radical. As per our knowledge, secondary free radical is more stable than primary free radicality. Therefore, it is possible, it is not possible. So secondary free radical, secondary carbon free radical is more stable than primary free radical, boys. So it is a primary free radical less stable and it is a more stable. Therefore, so first one is the product and second one is almost not possible. Second one almost not possible, boys. Next, some more reactions. Other possibilities, boys. That means in all these cases, a free radical can generate another free radical. Now, directly how to get carbon free radicals? Directly how to get free radicals? So second way of method, so direct without any free radical, how to get free radicals? So these are the reactions. See here, boys. Tetramethyl lead. Tetramethyl lead. It is on strong heating, gives 4 methyl free radicals plus lead. 4 methyl free radicals plus lead. So directly we will get free radical. Boys, free radicals always homolysis end. Homolysis takes place high heat. Heat is at high temperatures. Homolysis takes place. In the presence of sunlight, homolysis takes place. In the presence of electricity, homolysis takes place. In the presence of peroxides, homolysis. I'm using heating end. Yes, I'm using heating addition. Okay, high heat is applied. Homolysis takes place. So methyl free radical is the product. That finally gives lead. Next, CH3 N double bond N CH3, boys. It is diazo compound. It is diazo compound. Okay, during heating, so this unpaired electron, this unpaired electron, this unpaired electron, this unpaired electron, boys. This nitrogen getting unpaired electrons. So that's why that is finally gives N triple bond N plus 2 methyl free radicals. 2 methyl free radicals. That is the way to prepare free radicals. Next, third case, that is C6H5 COO CO C6H5. Just a minute. Another O also there. Peroxy link is there. Peroxy compound. OO single bond linkage is called as peroxy bond, boys. Here homolysis takes place. So here homolysis takes place. During that homolysis, unpaired electrons, boys. So it is on heating, boys. It is also heating. It is also heating. It is on heating. Gives 2 moles C6H5 COO free radical. COO free radicals. Okay. Next, ketones, CH3 C double bond O CH3. If sunlight is passed, here homolysis takes place. That gives CH3 CO with unpaired electron plus CH3 radical is the product. CH3 radical. Now, once again, it is going to be like this, boys. See here, it is going to be like this. That is a CH3 unpaired electron plus carbon monoxide is the product. Carbon monoxide with 2 unpaired electrons. So 2 methyl free radicals. That means directly we will give like this end. So 2 methyl free radicals with carbon monoxide. Next, one more end. What is that? RCOO minus ion. It is acetate ion, boys. So during electrolysis, it is at anode end. At anode, boys. At anode, de-electronation takes place. Electron is lost, boys. So because of that, One electron is lost, that gives RCOO unpaid electron. RCOO unpaid electron. After that, so here homolysis takes place. So that gives alkali free radical plus CO2 as product ending. This is a free radical, boys. This is free radical. So in all cases, free radicals are generated. In all cases, free radicals are generated. This is the preparation of free radicals. This is the preparation of free radicals. Okay. Next. Sir, what type of reactions are possible with these free radicals? Okay. Okay, boys. Now, reactions involving free radicals. First one, dimerization. Free radicals are dimerized. So free radicals are dimerized. What is the meaning of dimerized, boys? Two similar radicals, two similar species combine with each other, give a single unit. Combination of two gives one unit. That is dimerization. Combination of three units gives one unit. That is trimerization. Many units combination gives a single unit is nothing but polymerization. It is a dimerization. So two species can combine with each other and give one compound. That is dimerization. These free radicals can involved in dimerization. See here, how is that? That is alkyl radical is there and another alkyl radical is there, boys. These are two species combined with each other gives RR component. It is a dimer. This is dimer, boys. The process is called as dimerization. So another one. So that means combination of free radical gives free radicals can combine with another free radical. So one more end. Alkali free radical may combine with halogen free radical, that gives RX is the product, boys. RX. Sir, all free radicals can combine with each other or not? Yes. Because these free radicals may be, see here, I am taking carbon free radicals, boys. So this is a CH3 free radical, a primary free radical. Next, CH3, CH2 free radical. It is also, sorry. It is also primary free radical, boys. Next, CH3, CCH3 with H. It is a secondary free radical. It is also primary. Next, CH3, CCH3, CH3, unpaid electron. This is a tertiary free radical. That means our carbon free radicals are three types: primary, secondary, tertiary. So a primary free radical can combine with another primary free radical. Primary free radical combine with a secondary free radical. Primary free radical combine with a tertiary free radical. All these combinations are possible because easy to. Next, secondary free radical may combine with primary, already completed, boys. Also combine with another secondary free radical. Secondary free radical may combine with a tertiary free radical. These are possibility. Next, a tertiary free radical may combine with primary free radical, may combine with secondary free radical, but tertiary with tertiary is not possible, boys, because of steric factors. Because of steric factor, that means, so it is a tertiary free radical, boys. So next, it is trying to involved in another tertiary free radical combination with another tertiary free. So this is a bulky group, this is bulky group. So this is the attacking of these two free radicals is almost not possible. That means these methyl groups covers the free radical, boys. Because of bulky nature, the tertiary free radical never combine. So that means, so this type of combination is not possible. What happened when those are in combination? So see here, that is, if tertiary free radical is trying to combination with another tertiary one, side reaction and main reaction takes place. That means there is a main reaction, boys. So how a tertiary free radicals are involved in the reactions? See here, I am taking CH3 carbon, CH3, CH3. This is a tertiary free radical, boys. This is also a tertiary free radical. If these two are trying to take reaction, that means gives CH3, 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 bond with CH3, CH3, CH3. This is not taking place, boys. So this is not the product. This is not the product. So now what happens, sir? So this reaction takes place. This reaction, how is that? See here, boys. So this is hydrogen CH2H. This is hydrogen. This is unpaired electron. This is unpaired electron. This hydrogen attacked to this unpaired electron, boys. Half added arrow. That gives CH3, CH3, CH3H. It is alkane. Alkane. Next, it is alpha hydrogen, boys. Alpha position. Now it is CH3, CH3, double bond CH2. Alkene is the product. Alkane plus alkene is the product, boys. So this is the reaction takes place. These two are the products, but not this one. So a tertiary free radical never combine with a tertiary free radical. This is very, very, very important. So this is not the product, boys. This is the reactions. So alkane and alkene are the products. Alkane and alkene are the products. So this is very, very important. That is the dimerization. Primary combined with primary, secondary combined with secondary. So in all other cases are possible, but tertiary doesn't combine with another tertiary because of steric factors. Because of steric factors. Now, what are the reactions that are involved in free radicals? So next subheading, boys. Reactions involving free radicals. So these names are also important, boys. First one, halogenation of alkanes is a free radical, boys. Free radical attack. So here free radicals are generated. Those free radicals are involved in the reactions. So see here, our example is methane reacts with chlorine in the presence of sunlight. Whenever sunlight is used, free radical mechanism, boys. So that gives CH3Cl plus HCl, boys. This is major product. I am taking this is XSN. If it is methane. If methane is in excess, this is the major product, boys. Okay, so that is methyl chloride. That is methyl chloride. Sir, what is the reaction here? So here, any free radical reactions are chain reactions. So it is a chain reaction. It is an example to a chain reaction. Every chain reaction takes place in 3 steps. Every chain reaction takes place in 3 steps. Mechanism. One is chain initiation. Second one is chain propagation. Third one is chain termination. Every free radical reaction is a chain reaction. That is a chain initiation, chain propagation, chain termination. Chain initiation is nothing but in this process, radicals are formed. Free radicals. So initiation means generation of free radicals. Generation of free radicals. Propagation is involvement of reaction of free radicals. Reaction of free radicals. Termination means closing of free radicals. That means, so every free radical is neutralized. No free radicals are formed. That is, so free radicals turn into molecules. Free radicals are changed into molecules in chain termination. No free radical is there. Here, that is a radical formation, radical continuation, radical closing. So radical formation is initiation, radical continuation is propagation. So closing, radicals are converted into neutral molecules. So that is termination, boys. See here, that is the best example. So here, initiation. Initiation. See, boys, this chlorine, there is a bond between chlorine and chlorine. In the presence of sunlight, homolysis takes place. So that gives two chlorine free radicals. Two chlorine free radicals. So one of these chlorine free radical, that is CH3H. It is methane. So in the presence of chlorine free radical, it is radical. No doubt here also radical generation, boys. So this is unpaired electron. This is unpaired electron gives CH3 radical plus HCl. Now that CH3 radical, so this is a propagation. This is a propagation stepwise. Okay, that CH3 radical combined with another free radical that gives CH3Cl. CH3Cl. Sorry, just a minute. With Cl2 radical, Cl2, that gives one more free radical, boys. So this is free radical reacts with chlorine, that gives one more free radical. This chlorine free radical once again attacked with this one. So like this, the proper process is going on. That is, first hydrogen is removed and then chlorine is attacked. So like this process is going on. Next, termination. Termination. So here, so in propagation, methyl free radicals, halogen free radicals are the products, boys. Therefore, that methyl free radical, it is a primary ending. Combined with another methyl free radical, it is also primary, boys. That gives methane. That means free radicals are converts into molecules, boys. That chlorine free radical combined with chlorine free radical gives Cl2 gas. Like this termination, boys. Or methyl radical may combine with chlorine radical gives CH3Cl. So this is also happening. So this is, that means every free radical combined with another free radical, that gives neutral molecules. So that is a termination. Like this. So boys, in this mechanism, in this reaction, so free radical generation, free radical continuation, free radical closing takes place. That is chain initiation, chain propagation, chain termination. All these with free radicals. That is why it is a reaction. Halogenation of alkanes is the best example for in the presence of sunlight. Is the best example for free radical reactions. Free radical reactions. Next, some more reactions. Second example, one more reaction, that is Wurtz reaction. Wurtz reaction. It is preparation of alkanes. So in preparation of alkanes, I will explain once again at the time of preparation of alkanes with mechanism. So that is Wurtz reaction, boys. Just I am initiating this reaction. See here, boys. So when alkyl halides, 2 moles of alkyl halides reacts with sodium metal in the presence of dry ether, gives alkyl group combination with alkyl group. This is alkane plus 2NaX is the product. So that means, so alkanes are prepared from alkyl halides. This is alkyl group, this is halide, boys. Alkyl halides. From alkyl halides, alkanes are the products in the presence of sodium metal. So that is in the presence of dry ether, it is a solvent. So this reaction proceeds via free radical formation. See here, boys. So mechanism, that is step by step explanation. So this sodium losses because it is highly electropositionic. So it loses its electron and becomes a positively charged one. This is the electron generated. Now this is alkyl halide. This is alkyl halide. Catches that electron. See here. Now this is highly electronegative element, boys. This is one. So this becomes. So this electron attached to this one. Actually, it is a positive, partial negative. That gives actually alkyl positive plus X minus is the product. So this alkyl positive attracted by this chlorine, this unpaired electron, the charge is neutralized. That becomes a radical. Okay. So that is X minus. Now that alkyl radical combined with another alkyl radical that gives RR product. That is the major product. That is alkane. See here, radicals are the products. So radicals are involved in the reaction. So that is why it is also the reaction involving free radical. Wurz reaction, free radical mechanism. Next, one more. Ketone dimerization. Ketone dimerization. This is also free radical, boys. So here magnesium is used. So first magnesium turned into Mg+2 by the loss of 2 electrons. Okay. So there is a ketone, boys. C double bond O. One of that electron is attached to this one. So actually this is boys. So this is pi bond because it is highly electronegative element. So that's why this oxygen gets negative charge. This carbon gets positive charge. That positively charged carbon attacked this electron, that becomes neutral. That gives carbon. So O minus and is a radical. And it is a radical, boys. Okay. So two such radicals are combined with each other. That gives. See here. So carbon with 2 bonds. I'm explaining here. Carbon with 2 bonds with O minus and carbon radical plus carbon with 2 bonds with O minus carbon radical. So these two are combined with each other. That gives carbon bonded with carbon with O minus with O minus. That means two ketones are combination gives two ketones are combined via radical. So that's why it is ketone dimerization takes place. Ketone dimerization takes place via radical formation. Okay. So some other reactions, that is Kolb's electrolysis. That is another one, anti-Markovnikov rule. Anti-Markovnikov's rule, which is also called as, that is a peroxide effect, which is also called as Kharash effect. So these reactions are also involve free radicals, boys. So at the time of alkenes, we will explain. Kolb's electrolysis, it is nothing but preparation of alkenes, and alkynes. In all these three cases, the Kolb's electrolysis is applied, boys. During Kolb's electrolysis, radicals are formed, and at the preparation of alkenes and alkynes, I will explain with mechanism that Kolb's electrolysis, that is also free radical. Involvement, boys. Because electrolysis, current is applied. Whenever electricity is applied, radicals are present. Okay. So these are some reactions which are involving free radicals. Okay. So now, first of all, what are free radicals? What are their hybridization and structure? And now how to prepare free radicals, that is generation of free radicals. Now what are the reactions involving in free radicals? Up to now, we completed it. These are we completed. Now, how to explain the stability of these free radicals. Next subheading, stability of free radicals. Stability of free radicals, boys. Okay, at the time of hyperconjugation, we explained stability and stability. Okay, see here, what is that? And also inductive effect. I'm taking this carbon radical. Carbon radical is in sp2 hybridization. See here, boys, this is CH3. This is alpha carbon. Alpha carbon having at least one hydrogen may involved in hyperconjugation. Okay, this is CH2 radical. This is sp2 hybridized. sp2 hybridized carbon connected with alpha carbon, which is sp3 hybridized. If it has at least one hydrogen, may involved in hyperconjugation. Because of hyperconjugation, more alpha carbons, more alpha hydrogens, more is the stability, more resonance structures. So that means, so the stability of these free radicals, so explained based on one, hyperconjugation, and two, resonance, and three, bond energies, bond dissociation energies. By using these three conditions, we can explain the stability of carbon free radicals. More hyperconjugation structures, more is the stability. Based on this, tertiary carbon free radical is more stable than secondary carbon free radical, which is more stable than primary carbon free radical, which is more stable than methyl radical. Methyl radical. Already we explained that because tertiary free carbon free radical has 9 alpha hydrogens and 6 alpha hydrogens, 3 alpha hydrogens, no alpha hydrogens. So it is 9 alpha hydrogens, more resonance structures, more is the stability. Because of that, so tertiary carbon free radical is more stable than secondary free radical, that is more stable than primary free radical, that is more stable than methyl free. Boys, this order exactly, it is exactly similar to stability of carbocation. Am I correct or not? Tell me, boys. That the same order we explained at the time of carbocation. Tertiary carbocation is more stable than primary, which is more secondary, which is more stable than primary, which is more stable than methyl carbocation. So that means carbon free radical stability is in the order of exactly similar to that of carbocation. That means already we explained carbocation stability orders. Almost same orders. Carbocation stability order, carbon free radical stability order, almost same. If you know carbocation stability order, that is almost similar to carbon radical stability order. That means both these are almost same. No need to extra explanation, boys. No need of extra explanation. That is sufficient for us. Okay, this is very, very important. Next, resonance. We know more resonance structures, more is the stability. Next, bond dissociation at end. So easy to bond breaking. See here. If bond is easy to break, homolysis. Homolysis. Easy to break means radical formation is easy. Radical formation is easy, more is the stability. So less is the energy required. Less energy is required. Easy to break. Easy to break gives a carbon radical. So that formed, that means when compared to this one, this is less stability. That means this carbon radical is more stable. That means it is easy to form. That means less is the bond dissociation energy, more is the stability of the carbon free radical. Therefore, so bond dissociation energy. So bond dissociation energy is inverse to the stability of carbon radical. It is very, very, very important. Bond dissociation energy is inverse to the stability of carbon free radical. Let us take an example. That is radical Me3C boys, that is a tertiary methyl carbocation, sorry, carbon free radical, PHCH2. This is a benzylic candy, benzylic free radical boys. Already we explained yesterday. Benzylic free radical, it is allylic free radical. CH2 double bond CH, CH2. It is allylic free radical. It is a tertiary free radical. Okay, among these three, bond dissociation energies are for the formation of these free radicals. Here 401 kilojoules, it is a 368 kilojoules, it is a 361 kilojoules. Now tell me boys, which free radical is more stable? 1, 2, 3. Which free radical is more stable? Less is the bond dissociation energy, more is the most stable energy. So that means allylic carbon free radical is more stable than allylic. It is a primary allylic. Primary allylic. It is a primary benzylic. It is a tertiary methyl carbon. Therefore, the order of stability is primary allylic carbon radical is more stable than primary benzylic carbon radical is more stable than tertiary carbon free radical. Tertiary carbon free radical. That is tertiary methyl CH3 thrice. Me means methyl. CH3 thrice. Okay. So this is the order of free radicals, boys. This is the order of almost same order, boys. So these two almost same. That is why almost similar stability is available. Almost similar. Okay. So it is general cases, boys. Bond dissociation energy they give. So they give bond dissociation energies, boys. Based on the bond dissociation energy, we can explain the stability. Okay. So no need to by heart those values. No need to by heart those values. Okay. Next, the general stability order. The general stability order for different carbon free radicals. So the stability order for some stability order for some carbon free radicals. So please keep in mind, please note on this. That is triphenyl carbon free radical, more resonance structures. PH3C radical is more stable than PH2CH radical is more stable than PHCH2 radical, which is almost equal to okay, see here boys, which is greater than CH2 double bond CH CCH3 twice. It is radical, boys. It is a tertiary allylic. Tertiary allylic greater than secondary allylic CH2 double bond CH C radical HCH3. It is a secondary allylic greater than primary allylic CH2 double bond CH CH2 primary allylic based on all factors, boys, not only bond dissociation energy, based on all factors, which is greater than tertiary carbon free radical, greater than secondary carbon free radical, greater than primary carbon free radical, greater than methyl carbon free radical, greater than CH2 double bond CH free radical. CH2 double bond CH free radical. So that is the general order, boys. That is the general order, general stability order, boys. So, boys, in our yesterday's class, we covered substituted benzylic carbocation stability. The same order is also applicable in case of substituted benzylic carbon free radicals, because carbocation stability order and radical stability order all same. So very, very important, boys. Note this point. The stability order of substituted benzylic carbon radicals is same as that of stability order of substituted benzylic carbon cation. So already we covered this point. So yesterday almost we are discussing this point. The same thing is also applicable to carbon free. That means there C plus or C radical, the same order is applicable. C plus and C radical almost same. 100% same. Stereochemistry of carbon free radical, boys. Stereochemistry of carbon free, that is geometrical isomerism and also optical isomers. So which one is formed? So see here, boys. For example, carbon radical bonded with three different groups, A, B, C. This is attacked with another carbon free radical and D radical. Because it is planar, so that carbon free radical may attack to this one half-ended boys, or may attack in this direction. Okay, so because of that, see here, A, B, C, D. It is chiral center, boys. It is chiral center. So that is optically active. If it is a dextrorotatory, so if another way of attacking, A, B, D, C, and D. It is also chiral center, boys. Okay, so 50% this product, 50% this producted. So this is a D dextrorotatory compound. This is levorotatory compound. Finally gives, it is enantiomeric mixture. Just like in yesterday's class ending, that is carbocation condition. Same thing is also happening here. Enantiomeric mixture. Equimolar end. Equimolar enantiomeric mixture. So therefore it is racemic mixture. It is racemic mixture. That is optically inactive. Racemic mixture is optically inactive and this is also optically inactive. Okay, so just like in your previous day, in yesterday's class. So it is one chiral center. If two chiral centers are possible, with one chiral center, I am explaining with two chiral centers. With two chiral centers. See here, A, this is chiral, boys. B, C, this is chiral. This is radical ending. This is radical. So A with B ending. So now it is attacked with C radical, boys. For example, C radical that gives, that may be in this direction. Both directions are possible once again. That gives A, B, C. Here it is A. I'm giving C in this direction, B in this direction. And another case, A, B, C, B in this direction, C in this direction, and A. Okay, boys. This is chiral center. This is chiral center. This is chiral center. This is chiral center. It is mesocompound. It is mesocompound with similar conditions. So these two are diastereomeric page set. Diastereomers. So if two chiral centers are there, diastereomers are the products. If one chiral center is there, possibility of generation of chiral center. So that is a racemic mixture is the product. Racemic mixture is the product. Next, one more case. If alkenes are involved, if alkenes are involved, that is A, B, A, B, this is A. So in this orbital, a radical is there, radical. So here B radical is coming out. In this direction B is there, the radical is there. That's why this B is exactly here. That's why the product is C double bond C, A, B, here A, here is the B is the product. B is the product. For example, if C double bond C, in this direction radical, it is A, it is A, it is B. If B radical is attacked, that gives C double bond C, A, B, it is A, it is B, boys. So that means same direction attacking takes place. Same direction attacking takes place. So it is a trans compound, it is cis compound, both are possible. So this is the stereogenic centers. These two are, boys, these two are cis trans isomers, nothing but diastereomers. Cis trans isomers are also called as diastereomers, boys. This is about radicals preparation, radicals generation, next radicals involvement, radical stability. All these are possible. All these are possible. Note this point, boys. That is very, very important. So note points once again. That is a carbon with unpaired electron and positive charge may also exist. Both these are also existed, which is called as a radical cation. Which is called as radical cation. This also acts as reaction intermediate. Also acts as reaction intermediate. Okay, so for this charge is equal to +1, +1 end. How many bonds? 2 bonds are there. Bonds 2 and lone pairs 0, no lone pair is there, only unpaired electron is there. Hybridization, hybridization of this carbon is sp hybridization. Okay, number of hybrid orbitals. Number of hybrid orbitals 2 and shape linear end with bond angle 180 degrees. So this is about radical cation, boys. Radical cation. Please note down all these points. We are going to discuss another reaction intermediate, which is carb anion. Next subheading, carb anion. Carb anion. Carbanion, boys. Carbon with a negative charge and a lone pair. Carbon with a negative charge and lone pair. Okay, this is about carbanion. This one negatively charged one end, so acts as nucleophile. Carbanion acts as nucleophile. So carbocation acts as electrophile, carbanion acts as nucleophile. Here carbon has a lone pair of electrons with a negative charge. Okay, let us discuss different types of carbanions and their hybridations, shapes, whatever it may be. Okay, so first of all, let us discuss here structure. That means hybridization. Structure, that is hybridization, boys. CH3 minus ion, CH3 CH2 minus ion. Okay, CH2 double bond CH minus ion. Boys, here carbon is in sp3 hybridized. Here also sp3 hybridized. sp3. But if a carbon attached to double bonds with a negative charge, that is sp2 hybridized. That is sp2 hybridized. A triple bond carbon negative charge is sp hybridized. But please be conscious. Please be conscious. See here, it is a ring, C double bond C. So this gets negative charge. It is double bonded carbon with negative charge, boys. So it is also sp2 hybridization. Next, here, benzene ring with the negative charge. It is double bonded carbon. This is also sp2 hybridized. This is also sp2 hybridized. So triple bond carbon with negative charge, sp hybridized. Next, allylic position, CH2 double bond CH, CH2. This is negative, boys. So a carbon which is bonded with sp2 carbon ending. It is sp2 carbon ending. See here, double bonded carbon is sp2 carbon. So this is the carbon bonded to sp2 carbon. That carbon with negative charge also sp2, boys. So very, very, very important. A carbon, a negatively charged carbon which is bonded with sp2 carbon is also sp2. Is also sp2. See here, one more example. So CH3, C double bond C, CH2 minus, boys. So this is carbanion which is bonded with this carbon. This carbon is sp2, boys. Now this is also sp2. That is also sp2, boys. Okay, so please be conscious. Number of times asked based on these two bits, these 2 points. So a carbon bonded to sp2 carbon, that carbon has a carbon having negative charge is bonded to sp2 carbon. That carbon, that negatively charged carbon also sp2, not sp3. Generally, carbanion is sp3. But so these are special cases. Generally, carbanion is sp3, but a carbanion bonded to with sp2 is also sp2. Very, very important. Okay, which is bonded with sp is also sp. That is important. That is important. Next, see here, one more. Bridge head condition. Bridge head carbon never goes to sp2. So therefore, this is sp3. This is sp3. Okay, so very, very, very important. This is very, very important. So sp3 carbanion is a pyramidal in shape. sp3 carbanion is a trigonal pyramidal end, clearly. Trigonal pyramidal in shape. Trigonal pyramidal in shape. So sp2 is a planar end, no doubt. Okay. So this is about hybridization of and particularly shapes of this have that is carbanion wise. This is carbon with 3 bonds. So a lone pair with negative charge. That is the pyramidal shape. So that is the pyramidal shape. Okay. So this is the shape, guys. So CH3 it is actually CH3 with that is trigonal pyramidal shape. Trigonal pyramidal shape. In clear, this is dotted. So trigonal pyramidal shape. Trigonal pyramidal shape. Now, how to prepare these carbanions? Generation of carbanions. Generation of carbanions. Generation of carbanions. First one. From 1 ions. From 1 ions. 1 ions means, see here, boys. So C triple bond C. This carbon should be the first carbon. That is 1 ion. That means this carbon must bonded with hydrogen. Must bonded with hydrogen, boys. So this is 1 ion. This is 1 alkyne. I am taking this is 1 alkyne. Okay. See here, boys. A hydrogen, it is sp hybridized carbon, boys. A hydrogen bonded with sp carbon is acidic in nature. That is why this hydrogen is acidic hydrogen, boys. This because it is highly electronegative, so because more S percentage, so that bond pair is strongly attracted towards carbon, hydrogen released as H plus. It is possible and 1 ions, hydrogen to triple bonded carbon, hydrogen to triple bonded carbon is acidic in nature. Because it is acidic in nature, so it reacts with bases. So see here, I'm taking NaOH now. I'm taking NaOH. So this H plus release, that means R C triple bond C. This one gets negative charge. That NOH plus H. That is H2O is the product. That Na plus is attacking here. But this reaction is not possible, boys. Don't like this. So only except this NaOH. That means NaOH, KOH, these reactions are not possible with 1 ions. Please be conscious. So not possible this reaction. Next possibilities are NaNaH2, which is called as sodamide. Sodamide. Okay. So this is involved, that gives R C triple bond C minus with negative charge plus NaH3 is the product. This is possible. This reaction is possible. Next, RMgX, nothing but Grignard reagent. Grignard reagent. Here R minus MgX plus. This R minus catches this H plus ion, that converts into, that gives R C double bond C with the lone pair plus RH is the product. RH is the product. Okay. So we accept with NaOH. See, boys, this is carbon with negative charge, carbon with negative charge. These are carbon ions. So these carbon ions are generally generated like this. So not reacts with NaOH. So in other cases, it is possible. Please be conditioned. Very, very, very important. With NaOH, with KOH, the reaction is not takes place. So that much, because when compared to these are strong bases. These are strong bases, strongly involved in the reactions. Okay. Next one. second generation, second way. That is from aldehydes and ketones. From aldehydes and ketones. See here, boys. Aldehyde. I'm taking ketone, boys. C double bond O, CH3, CH3. Boys, this is functional group. So this is alpha carbon. This is also alpha carbon. So this C double bond O is electron withdrawing group. Am I correct or wrong? Tell me. C double bond O is electron withdrawing group or not? Tell me, boys. Yes, it is electron withdrawing group. Minus I group, minus M group, minus I or minus M group, and electron withdrawing group, boys. So this is alpha hydrogen. This is alpha hydrogen. Okay. So alpha carbon. So that is hydrogen, boys. This is alpha hydrogen. This alpha hydrogen is acidic in nature. A little bit acidic in nature. Okay. Now see here, when this one reacts with NaOH, this hydrogen as H plus is absorbed as H plus, alpha hydrogen. Alpha hydrogen absorbs that NaOH. So it is possible. So that is CH3, C double bond O, CH2 with lone pair minus ion. With lone pair. That is a carbon ion. That is carbon ion. It is possible, boys. So with aldehydes and ketones, with aldehyde also same way. With aldehyde also same way. Next, one more. Once again, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, boys. These are alpha carbons. These are alpha carbons. This one reacts with the reagent, special reagent, Li plus N minus. This one bonded with isopropyl group, boys. Isopropyl group. So it is diisopropyl. Diisopropyl. The name of this compound is lithium. Lithium diisopropyl amide. Lithium diisopropyl amide. In short, that is diisopropyl amide. LDA. Very, very important reagent. Lithium diisopropyl amide. That is the structure, boys. So this is a strong base. This one acts as strong base end. So this N minus, this absorbs alpha hydrogen. This absorbs alpha hydrogen. That gives, acts as strong base. That gives CH3, C double bond O, CH2 minus ion. CH2 minus ion. Along with product nitrogen bonded with hydrogen, isopropyl group. It is also isopropyl group. Okay, but our requirement is a carbon ion, and that carbon is also formed, boys. Alpha hydrogen, boys. Alpha hydrogen. That means, what is that alpha hydrogen? So a carbon which is bonded with, I'm taking here particularly electron withdrawing group, boys. So carbon very next to the electron withdrawing group is highly, that is alpha carbon. That alpha carbon, I'm taking hydrogen. That hydrogen is acidic. If one electron withdrawing group is there, it is something acidic in nature. If two electron withdrawing groups are there, let us also assume, boys, if two electron withdrawing groups are there, I'm taking an example. See here. I'm taking this is C double bond O, this is C double bond O, boys. So it is a electron withdrawing group. This is also electron withdrawing group. Okay. So here it is a CH2, boys. It is a CH2. This CH2 is in between two electron withdrawing groups, boys. Now this hydrogen is highly acidic. This hydrogen highly acidic. This methyl group, this is CH2 group, is called as methylene group, and this is very reactive. So that's why this methylene group is called as active methylene groups. Very, very, very important. What is active methylene group? Methylene group is nothing but CH2. If that methylene group is existing between two electron withdrawing groups, is very, very reactive. That's why that is called as active methylene group. It is no doubt alpha position to both these electron withdrawing groups. So that hydrogen is alpha hydrogen. It is highly acidic in nature and released as H plus ion. That carbon gets negative charge. That carbon gets negative charge. For example, to this LDA is applied. Automatically the product is, so when compared to that one, here easily negatively charged ion is coming out, boys. Easily negatively charged ion. Okay, so this is about active methylene group. So very, very, very important, boys. What is active methylene group? A methylene group is sandwiched between two electron withdrawing groups. It is in between two electron withdrawing groups. That is called as active methylene group. That hydrogen is highly acidic and released as H plus. Released as H plus ion. That is highly acidic in nature, strong acidic in nature. Okay, next, some more reactions. That means a carbon bonded with highly electronegative element, that carbon has a hydrogen, that hydrogen is acidic in nature and released as H plus. See here, boys. Finally, what is my conclusion? There is a carbon, it is bonded with electron withdrawing group. If it has a hydrogen, it is nothing but alpha, boys. This hydrogen is acidic in nature. So this gives carbon with negative charge with electron withdrawing group. So this is the way a carbon ion is generated, boys. So that is what I used in previous two examples. Let us take one more example, boys. One more way to generate this carbon ion, that is RCOO minus ion. Acetate ion, boys. Okay, so this oxygen has three lone pairs, actually two with negative charge, one more is there. So this is migrated here, this is migrated here, boys. That gives R with minus ion with the CO2 gas. Okay, lone pair is there. This is carbon ion. This is carbon ion. Next, one more. R, S, double bond O, O minus R. Here it is like this, it is like this. That gives R minus plus SO3. R minus plus SO. Next, R with N triple bond N and D. Sorry, double bond. Azo compound. Azo compound with negative charge. So now it is like this, it is like this. That gives R minus plus N2 gas. R minus plus N2 gas. All these are negative ions, boys. Carbon having negative charge. That is why all these are electron carbon ions. All these are carbon ions. Next, some more examples. Let us take an example, boys. That is C2H5 This is negatively charged ion. That is a nucleophile ending. It is a nucleophile. This nucleophile attacks to C triple bond energy. Okay. So now this pi bond migrated to this one. This carbon gets positive charge. So this negative ion is attacked to this one. Okay. That gives C2H5 O CH2 CH negative ion C triple bond N. C triple bond N, boys. Now these two are in conjugation, boys. This is migrated because it is highly electronic element. This becomes like this. So these two are in resonance end. C2H5 O CH2 CH. That is rearrangement takes place with negative charge. These two are possible. So carbon ion and nitrogen with minus charge. These two are possible. So these two are possible, boys. Finally, okay. This is very, very important. Next, see here, CH2 C double bond OH, boys. Aldehyde. It is acetaldehyde. It is electron withdrawing group. This hydrogen is acidic in nature. When it reacts with OH minus, that gives CH2 CHO. This carbon gets negative charge because it is acidic in nature. That is a electron withdrawing group. Now one more example. So CH3 NO2. It is also electron withdrawing group, boys. So this hydrogen also acidic in nature. This is also released. That gives CH2 minus NO2. That is carbon ion. It is also electron withdrawing group. So the rule is applicable. Next, RCOO minus ion. When it reacts with NaOH plus CaO, which is called as soda lime, that absorbs CO2 gas. So it is like this. It is like this. CO2 gas is absorbed here. That gives R minus ion. R minus ion. Okay. Next, a few reactions. On all these cases, carbon ion is the productant. This is the way to generate carbon ions, boys. Next, alkyl halide. Alkyl halide, when reacts with magnesium metal in the presence of dry ether, gives RMgX. Here R gets negative charge, magnesium gets positive charge. R means carbon, carbon having negative charge. That is carbon ion, boys. That is also carbon ion. For example, okay, so this is conjugated system, boys. This is conjugated system. When lithium metal is applied, so this hydrogen is released. So that gives, this is the structure end. Okay, so this has lone pair, boys. Now it becomes aromatic ending. So with half H2, hydrogen gas is evolved. Aromatic, boys, with carbon negative charge, it is more stable. So this is carbon ion. It is the way to generate carbon ions, boys. It is the way to generate carbon ions. Now, what are the reactions which are involved in carbon ions and what is the stability orders? So we will discuss tomorrow, guys. Right now, I'm stopping here. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.